How's it going, guys? Sanitary 103. Thanks for watching another video. So today's installment, I wanted to share with you a very interesting article that I read on the NewYorkTimes.com, and it is entitled 1 minute of all-out exercise may have benefits of 45 minutes of moderate exertion. So your first impression might be, wow, is that even possible? I could work out for only 1 minute and still have the exact or even better benefits of 45 minutes of exercise. And before I go into the study revolves around high intensity interval training, aka HIIT. And if you don't know what that is, that's basically a form of cardiovascular exercise in which, what you do is, let's say you jog for 30 seconds up to a minute, and then you sprint all out for 30 or 45 seconds, or it could be a minute. There's a lot of different variations, but basically you jog for a little bit, for a couple minutes, and then once you catch your breath, you sprint all out for a minute. You can also do this for biking. If you're on a stationary bike, you can stroll for a minute and then go all out for a minute and then rinse and repeat. And this is not something new. I am aware of high intensity interval training. There have been a lot of health benefits, a lot of claims, in which something called the afterburn effect, in which when you do high intensity interval training, you burn a lot of calories after your workout. But nonetheless, in this study, it was done by scientists at McMaster University in Hamilton, Ontario. And what they did is they had 3 groups. One was a control group, and they got 25 guys, men who were out of shape. And they ran some tests on these out of shape men to see how well their insulin was regulating their blood sugar. And they also, says right here, biopsied the men's muscles to examine how well their muscles function at a cellular level. So like I said, that was the control group. So that group basically did nothing. And then the second group, they did a program for, it was, for 12 weeks, 3 times a week. And they did about 45 minutes of cardio 3 times a week at a moderate pace. And the third and final group was the high intensity interval training group. And what they did is, they warmed up for 2 minutes on stationary bicycles, then pedaled as hard as possible for 20 seconds, rode at a very slow pace for 2 minutes, sprinted all out again for 20 seconds, and they just rinsed and repeated this interval training. And then at the end, they had a cool down for about 3 minutes. So the 2 groups that were exercising, they did this for 3 sessions a week, like I said, for 12 weeks. And then afterwards, the scientists revealed their results. So what were they? What they found interesting was that the people that rode for 45 minutes 3 times a week compared to the people that just did the interval training, the gains and the health benefits were nearly identical in a fraction of the time. And this one part was really, really interesting. The endurance group had ridden 27 hours in total, while the interval group, the high intensity interval training group, had ridden for 6 hours, with only 36 minutes of that time being strenuous, and they had the exact positive health benefits. So it's kind of a no-brainer, right? Let's see, I'm gonna go ride for 27 hours total for 12 weeks and have the same benefits as someone with 6 hours, and a lot of people are pressed for time. Why wouldn't you want to do this, right? And to go into a little bit more detail on some of the health benefits, both groups, according to the article, they had increased their endurance by nearly 20%. Their insulin resistance had improved significantly, and there were significant increases in the number and function of certain microscopic structures in the men's muscles that are related to energy production and oxygen consumption. And just in case you were curious, there were no changes with the control group, which is to be expected. So what is my overall take on this? Do I call BS on it? I actually don't. High intensity interval training, if you look it up, it's been around a while, like I mentioned, and there's been a lot of scientific claims that have proven a lot of the health benefits. So would I automatically recommend someone doing high intensity interval training over someone doing some endurance training? That depends on your health and fitness goals. If, for instance, you're a distance runner and you like to run, then why would you just cut your workout to 1 minute? Some people love running, and if you're a distance runner, then this may not be for you. Also, a couple of things you may want to consider is that with high intensity interval training, and I used to do it a lot more in the past when I did more cardio, but you might run the risk of and temptation, of not going all out when you really need to. When they say sprint for 1 minute, it truly means to overexert 1 minute or 45 seconds, whatever interval it is, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever, but to really go all out. And if you're not really going to the precipice and to the ultimate extreme during that interval before you get to rest for a minute or two, you're not going to be reaping the benefits. So this definitely can happen. Another potential drawback to high intensity interval training is that for some people that are already out of shape, it's going to be pretty hard to tell that person to sprint all out for even 30 seconds. They may only be able to sprint for 10 seconds and get out of breath. So in that regards, it probably wouldn't be feasible or a smart exercise routine to start with. It probably would be better for that out of shape person to slowly build up their cardiovascular endurance and then dabble in trying some new things such as high intensity interval training. Last but not least, with high intensity interval training, it can be taxing on the knees, especially for people that are overweight. So if you read this article or you're watching this video and you're like, yeah, you know what, I want to just do something for like 10 minutes and reap the same health benefits, that's completely fine. But if you are a little bit overweight, you are a little bit heavy set, I would recommend, if you're gonna do high intensity interval training, you might want to do it on the bike, on the stationary bike, or outside. If you do high intensity interval training while running, I would just recommend don't do it on concrete, at least do it on a rubber track. Not to go too much off track, but I can't stand it when shows like The Biggest Loser and stuff, they always have their clients, or the other one with Chris Powell, The Extreme Makeover on ABC, they always have their clients doing a lot of running, a lot of wear and tear on their knees, and then they wonder why they get injuries, but that's for another discussion. So overall, this is a great study. It's very promising that you can reap a lot of the health benefits from just a fraction of the time if you work out. However, like most things with health and fitness, you also need to have a proper diet. If your diet sucks, it's not in check, and then you do this high intensity interval training, body composition wise, you're probably not going to see a difference. Health wise, you may see some differences, who knows, but you want to have a combination. You want to have your diet in check and do your cardiovascular exercise and some form of weight training. That's about it for this video. Comments and questions are always welcome. If you've done high intensity interval training as opposed to endurance type training, aka distance running, for example, let me know your guys and gals' experience. Any comments are always welcome. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.